Oh, hello. You have a question for the parent professor? Well, come on in.
Come on in. Have a seat. All right, you had a question for the parent professor? How can I help you?
Professor, there are so many books on parenting and so many ways to discipline. How do I know what's the best approach?
Hey, you know what? I have several books on parenting myself. And what I try to do is keep my books really short, simple, to the point, make them usable, doable, practical in what we're presenting to parents. And so I want to give you something to keep in mind that I always ask myself when I'm writing a parenting book to make sure it meets this criteria. And this is what you can do with any parenting strategy or any technique you want to look at to see if it meets the criteria for you as a parent. First question you want to ask in any parenting strategy is, does it work? Now, if you're using something that you have to continually use over and over and over again, that does raise a question in my mind. At what point do we let go of using this strategy because it's not working? And at what point do we need to continue to work it? Now, that's a balancing act that you've got to ask yourself. But usually when I ask this to people in workshops who bring this question up is, does it work? Usually we get, yeah, it eventually does. I mean, you can yell and scream at your kids and it might work. But that's only question number one. It's got to meet all four of these criteria, because the second question you want to ask yourself in any parenting strategy you adopt is it respectful? Yeah. How does it treat the child through the process? You want to hold your children in a state of grace as they learn. Children do not need to be afraid of you and afraid to be hurt by you so that they can learn. So now, if it's hitting and yelling, now we've eliminated that because that's not respectful. So now let's go to the third. Does this parenting strategy that you're choosing, does it help you become the parent that you desire to be? If you think of yourself as a parent being the best parent you could actually be, on your game, the best approach to whatever the problem is, you're at your best, does it look like this? Is that what it looks like? And if it does, then you can adopt that parenting strategy. Now, the fourth and final question that you want to ask yourself in any parenting technique is, what does it teach? Because that's the whole point of having parenting strategies and a disciplined approach, is that we teach new behaviors. Because if you want a behavior, you have to teach a behavior. So I want you to take those four that I laid out for you really quickly. In any strategy that you come across, ask those questions, and it must meet all four criteria. Sounds like I have another question for the parent professor. Hey, if you have a question that you would like to ask, you can email me at thomas@thomashaller.com. Or just go to my website at thomashaller.com. There you'll find practical resources for raising responsible, caring, confident children. Hey, you can even sign up for my free email newsletter.